Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
Good morning, everybody. It has been a long time, a very long time, since I have done a YouTube video. Very sorry, you guys. I am thankful for those of you who have followed me since I have started YouTubing. I really don't know how to make this channel take off, but I know I have to start doing videos more regularly. I have been really doing bad. My health has just been giving me lots of many fits. My life right now has been so chaotic, and over the past, since May, really since March, I have struggled with cellulitis. My cellulitis has been very bad. First, I had that place that was on my face that was a boil or some sort of a place. I don't know if it was a boil or a whitehead or what it was. It was some huge place that was on my chin, and it looked like a spider bite to me, but I wasn't too sure. So I videoed it on Facebook, and everybody said it looked like a boil or something like that. Well, I took medicine for that as well, antibiotics, and they put something topical on it to help clear it up. And I squoze it and try to get as much of the crud out of it as I could. But, it took it a while, a few weeks for it to heal up. But since March I've battled cellulitis. I have been on antibiotics a total of 3 times that were by mouth. Even one course of antibiotics came from my OBGYN doctor. And he wrote me a course of antibiotics. And then I took those antibiotics as well. Plus, I think that Dr. Silva wrote me a couple of courses. And then finally, in this month, after I've gone for the past, like I said, since March, not feeling very good. Not feeling very good, not doing very good. Overall, being very, very unwell. I have, however, been able to turn over on my stomach, which is very much a blessing considering the condition that I have been in. I have been able to turn all the way over on my stomach, all the way back over again. It takes a lot out of me to do it, but I can do it. But back to what happened recently. In August, which was last month, this happened around, I want to say the 12th. I'll go with the 12th. On August the 12th, my dog died. Mollie, I had her for 10 years, and she died. She was very, very ill. One day she was running around, eating, going outside, just acting like her old self. Next thing I know, my dad's telling me she's sick, and she is puking and pooing blood. That's the dead giveaway. Well, it got to be, all that happened a few days before, but she passed away. And then it was on the 16th that I went to the hospital. That was a Friday, so it was like a Monday or Tuesday when Mollie actually died from being sick. I was so upset. I cried. I was devastated. I was literally inconsolable. inconsolable because I lost my dog. For 10 years, we had each other's backs. She showed my grandmother when my grandmother was terminally ill and dying the most awesome support. She stuck by her no matter what. It didn't matter if my grandmother had a team of nurses around her. My dog, Mollie, stayed right by her. That's how I know Mollie would have never done me the way that I did her. And it's not by my own choice. I never got to say a proper goodbye to Mollie. And that hurt me. It hurt me deeply. The fact that Mollie died isn't even really the issue for me. I should have expected it. She was 10 years old and she was sick. She had a heart murmur. She eventually got really, really sick. She always had a knot on her side that was just growing and growing and growing. My dad was never sure, but he thought it might have been cancerous. He didn't know. We never really had the money to take her to the vet, which was very sad for me. It always just came to an issue where things were very hard. Ever since my grandmother passed in 2016, my life has just been topsy-turvy and upside down, and I haven't really been sure of what the heck to think of things. But, you know, Mollie's death has been very hard for me. And I'm going to ask you guys out here in YouTube land who are visitors to my channel, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notifications of my videos. I promise that as my life changes, that I'm going to try to keep updating. This is going to be a long video, so I'm very sorry, you guys. But if you listen, I thank you. And if you understand, I thank you. And if you can understand where I'm coming from, thank you for being understanding. You guys, it means so much to me. I don't have a lot of people to really connect with. And I'm feeling very low right now. I'm emotionally unstable. I have had a heart attack on the 16th of August. The only thing that I remember about being here, I remember talking to my dad, but I don't remember a whole lot about that day. It's very, very vague. I remember that when my dad came in, I had a lunch tray sitting in front of me for 2 hours that I never even touched. I ate the fruit off of my tray. I drank the tea off of my tray. And I remember my baby cousin looking at me and saying, "Kelly, please go to the hospital." And I remember saying yes, but I remember seeing my baby cousin's life flash before my eyes. And I remember seeing my own life flash before my eyes. I was so sick. I was so weak and tired. I had a heart attack. And I was very, very sick. I remember that I went to the hospital. I don't remember much about being in the triage or the ER, but I remember being taken by ambulance to the hospital. I remember going upstairs to ICU, and I remember this man was losing his crap. He took out all his lines. He ripped out his lines. He was flailing, kicking his arms and legs around, and there was like a whole crap ton of nurses in there with them. And I said, "Dad, what's wrong with this dude?" And my dad said, "I don't know. He's losing it." I said, "Yes, he is." I said, "Please shut the door. He's about to give me a damn panic attack." So my dad shuts the door. My mom is gone. My mom comes back, the door's shut, and my mom's like, what the hell? The door was just open. And my dad goes over there and opens the door and lets her in. I don't remember much about what happened after that. I don't remember my mom and dad leaving. I don't remember anything until about 2 o'clock in the morning when I was just begging for water and begging for a drink. And I said, I want some water. God bless it. And finally, they gave me 2 Xanax, which knocked me on my butt. And they did give me some water. And the next day, what I hated after that was I had a nurse named Christy that I couldn't stand. This lady was meaner than a damn snake. She threatened to restrain me and all kinds of stuff. I had a heyday with her. I told her, I said, you know what? I said, go ahead, try to restrain me. I want you to. I said, because when you do, the minute that you do, I'm going to call the news people and I'm going to call everybody and I'm going to get you for mistreatment of a disabled person. I said, I'm going to ruin your whole livelihood. I said, go ahead, do what you think you're going to do. I want you to. I said, because it's not going to work with me. And, you know, I kept on really acting like I was going to just do something. And finally, they moved me up to, they moved me back to the down to the second floor to room 202. And you guys, I'm telling you, I am being real about this. That was like what seemed to be 2 days later, but it wasn't exactly 2 days later. You know, my mom tried to feed me a bite of cake that was small enough to fit in a spoon. I took one bite of this cake and I puked it up instantly. Up it came. I took a drink of some tea and up it came. That night in room 202, I had a nurse named Alice that I liked very well, and I forget what her assistant's name was. Alice was very good. I had thrown up Jell-O multiple times, and I finally ate it and kept it down. So that was really good. That was a promising sign. And then the next few days that followed, there was a couple of days after that I just refused. I would drink orange juice. I would drink apple juice. I'd drink Sierra Mist. I would eat pudding or Jell-O. And I might, you know, eat fruit or something like that, but I never, never tried to eat anything until finally one day I decided to try salads. And then I took a bite of some stir fry, but it was too spicy for me to handle at the time. But by the time I got out of there, I was able to eat my favorite stir fry from there, which was really good. But, you know, I was in the hospital there from August the 16th until right before my dad's birthday, which was the 28th. I got out of there on the 27th. The nurse that I had, her name was Sheila. She pulled out my IV line, my PIC line, and it was in the worst place. You guys, I've got a question for you. Have you ever heard of somebody having a central line in the middle of their bend of their arm? That's crazy. Anyway, that line hurt like double hockey sticks. She had me lay flat, and then she took all the tape off of it, the dressing, unsecured all the little things that were around it, holding it in place, took the stitches out, she then started to pull the line. And she told me to hold my breath. So she pulled it and she kept pulling it. And then finally she got to the very end of it and it came out. And when it did, the end of it that had a end on it, it really hurt when it came out. I cried and I said, "Dear God, never a freaking again." And I remember calling my dad and I was so upset and I said, "Daddy, I will never have a PICC line in the bend of my arm again. That hurt way too bad." My God, when I got in hospital, they had so many IVs on me. They had an IV in both wrists. They had an IV in my shoulder. And then they had a PICC line in both damn arms. One PICC line I took out because it hurt on the other side. I just ripped the damn thing out myself. And then these idiots started trying to put mittens on me, and I took the mittens off. And I flat told that crazy person, that nurse, I said, "You do whatever you think you're going to do to me." I said, "Because you're not going to do nothing to me." I flat told her. I said, "You crazy bitch, you're not going to do shit to me, because if you do, I'm going to call the police and have you arrested for mistreatment of a disabled person. I'll ruin your whole livelihood." And, it's very hard, but that nurse was meaner than Nurse Ratchet. I was never so glad to get away from her. It was unreal. I couldn't stand her. I could not stand that lady. She was mean. She was hateful. And I don't care what she thought she was doing, but she wasn't doing it to me. That was the only thing that mattered. And she was not going to be doing it to me, because I wasn't going to tolerate any of that. When I was a kid, I had an experience where I don't know what hospital I was in, but my mom wasn't in the room, and neither was my dad or grandmother or anybody. But a nurse told me to shut up or she would stick me again. And I, ever since then, decided that when I was being ever in the position of being bullied by a nurse, I wasn't going to tolerate it. And now that I was 30 years old, a few months from being 31, I decided I wasn't putting up with that BS. That lady wasn't about to sit there and bully me and think that she could run me over just because I was blind. Oh, and they did the craziest thing ever. Here I am, just had a heart attack, and they tried to put a BiPAP machine on me. Well, that didn't go over too well because I am claustrophobic. And I had anxiety about it. I didn't in December when I was there. I actually loved it. They put my oxygen through there, and then they put, turn the BiPAP on. But they did the same thing in ICU, and I had anxiety about it. It was really bad. I took the damn thing off. And I said, "I can't do this, and you can't make me do this." I said, "I have claustrophobia. I can't take it." So, after I got out of the hospital, it was the next day. My dad came, and it was his birthday. And I was really glad to get to see him on his birthday. We celebrated with snacks from the vending machines and drinks and listened to music. I felt lousy and wanted to sleep, but I was very glad to see my dad. And then the next night was a Thursday. I went to the doctor. I forgot that I'd scheduled this appointment in advance. I've been so sick. I've been emotionally unstable. I've been having really bad sleep issues and anxiety issues. They discontinued all my medications. I'm not on my diabetic medication anymore. I'm not on my birth control medicine anymore that would regulate my periods or stop them from being so bad. And then they're shooting me up with all these blood thinners. It is very, very, very hard. Everything I'm going through right now is excruciating and all my doctors agreed. I saw a doctor about my bladder issues on Thursday. Her name is Dr. Jackson. Her staff, Lydia and Alicia, are very nice and very kind-hearted. And they do their best to try to help me whenever I have a problem. And when I was in their office, I needed more help than normal because I have muscle spasms and hand tremors. And I even get muscle spasms in my hands now. They used to only be in my limbs, in my arms and legs, and in my body. Now they're in my hands too. I hate this because now that means that I really have to be careful. I have to be careful what I do. I have to be careful how I do things now. I just have to be too careful. My toenails are long and overgrown. I haven't got to see a foot doctor yet to get them clipped. And I've been not wanting to wear socks because I don't want them messed up. Now, I've been just praying for all this to end because it's just a lot. It's too much. It's too much physically, mentally, and emotionally. But on the bright side, this isn't all a negativity video, but on the bright side, you guys, now my dad and mom are going to put tile in the house. They're going to patch the holes in the walls. They're going to paint. And they're going to, fix it and make it where I can come home. I talked to my uncle, my dad's brother, the other day. And it was very good to talk to him. Uncle Sydney, I haven't really had a chance to really talk to him in so long. But it felt good. He told me that he buried Mollie. He said Mollie was very sick, which I already knew. He just corroborated what I already knew. He said he buried her underneath the shade tree. And that, I knew I would see her again one day. And he said, well, she would want you to move on. She wouldn't want you crying for her. And I said, I know. I said, but this is just too hard. And then I told him everything about what had happened to me. And he said, you've been through a lot. He said, you're not treated like you in there. He said, in order for you to really remember who you are, you got to be treated like you are. He said, and that's just not the way things are there for you. And I told him that I was really looking for a Boston Terrier. And he said, oh yeah, like Winn-Dixie, the dog we used to have. And Dixie was Samantha's dog. And she was a Boston Terrier. And I really did love her too. And I want another Boston Terrier. He said he might know people who have Boston Terriers, which that's great. So yes, when I get out, I will have another dog. But my dad was telling me yesterday that he wants to break Cisco of peeing on the damn floor, which I can't blame him. I would want him to break Cisco from doing that too. So hopefully my dad can do that by the time that I get out of here, which would probably be another 6 to 8 months. I don't know. It might still be a long ass time yet, but I know once that my stint in here is over, I will never have to do this again because I've already made a plan. My cousin's gonna move in with me. My baby cousin's gonna live with me. And I have a really good friend that I got back in contact with, and I feel good about this. Her name is Stacy. She's been through a lot, and my friend Stacy Hernandez, who's also blind, we went to school together. She has a channel on here too.
YouTube.
And she's always
Origins
singing.
explained. Craziest cars made for movies.
She's
Attachment.
always singing and doing stuff like that. Besides chronic illness and my health, I'm going to devote my channel to other things. I'm also going to volunteer my time and make YouTube videos for people. That's what I'm going to do. I love doing this. I don't mind doing it. And I'm going to volunteer my time to make YouTube videos that explain the crafts that they're doing in activities here. You know, I've pitched the idea to the social worker, to Carolyn, the unit manager, to Milford, the head of housekeeping. I've pitched the idea to several people. They said that they would talk to JJ about it, the activity director here, so I hope that they do. I've even found that my vision ain't what it used to be since my heart attack. Everything looks fuzzy now. It don't look clear like it used to be. I am really, really dealing with a lot. But all my doctors agreed, I forgot to mention, all my doctors agreed that I did not need any urine on my skin. So now I have to wear a catheter. But I'd rather wear the catheter than have urine everywhere. But as long as I'm bleeding really heavy like this, it's not going to make a hill of beans because my skin's always going to be messed up. My skin is still messed up. But, and it, you know, it burns and it stings and it hurts. You know, it's really an embarrassing issue. But I've got one place on me that's about to turn into a cyst. It's really scary. So, you know, I'm asking all you guys that stumble on my channel to keep me in your prayers, and thank you all for watching. And again, remember to like and subscribe and keep checking back for more videos, and I'm gonna start trying to do more. Oh yes, now I've started blogging on WordPress. So my Facebook group, Lymphedema Support Group, has really taken off. I have well over 1,000 members in that group, and they steadily keep growing. So that's something I'm very proud of. My other group I created, Blind Nursing Home Residents, it hasn't taken off at all. It's very disappointing. But, you know, that's life. Sometimes things fail, and sometimes they succeed. So who really knows what's going to happen? But anyway, you guys, signing off. Have a blessed day, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Stop recording button.